I can say that I didn't really have much of a connection with them pre-stroke. I was too selfishly wrapped up in my work.
Hello and welcome to Topic Talk. I'm Jess, your host. This topic talk is about maintaining connected relationships. This is the lovely Saran, a badass straight shooter, stroke survivor, an amazing mum, the engagement project coordinator for the Young Stroke Project, which is so fancy I can't even say it. And she's one of our leaders in the Genius community. So Saran, can you tell us in 2 to 3 minutes max, how do you maintain connected relationships with your kids?
They were 3, 7 and 9, one day off of double digit 10. I will be reminded of that forever, of Hayden. I can say that I didn't really have much of a connection with them pre-stroke. I was too selfishly wrapped up in my work, and David was sort of their mum and dad at the same time, even though I think he's a bit he's soft on me and sort of says, no, you're still a good mum.
That's because you're
So
hard on you.
yeah,
Got to balance it out.
I know. Yeah. So what was funny was that Emma, the youngest and the loudest, was really upset, and she would sort of say, you know, the kids had you pre-stroke and I didn't. And we actually had to sort of say to her and really I had to, through my psychologist, kind of actually be able to speak to her and say, no, honestly, you have me in a better position. Catherine in the hospital used to say, Mummy's nicer since the stroke because I was around, you know. So I ended up sort of playing with Emma was me sitting in bed, and she would bring either all of my makeup or all of my shoes or all of my clothes, and she'd have a phone and she'd pretend to be the consultant, and, you know, and I would pay her in Monopoly money, and that was us playing. So just sort of doing that. Look, we all were involved in the stroke journey, so my wins were everyone's wins. So Hayden had just started school. He actually was accepted into a school 2 weeks before my stroke. So we had to sort of go in. I completely forgot to book to order his book, so that was fun for David to do while I was in rehab. But he would, in year 5, he would go to his class and his teacher and say, "Oh, Mum, you know, Mum managed to walk 10 steps today," and the teacher was just like, "This is a boy, and he's in a new school, and he's so excited to be sharing these things." Catherine's sharing of my stroke was, you know, "What did you do in the holidays?" "Well, we did this and we did that in the holidays, and my mum had a stroke." And then she sat down, and so I had all these parents ringing, going, "Oh my God, what's happened?" But yeah, we shared everything. So, you know, when I was feeling absolute crap, they would all try and sort of, you know, help me feel better. But there were times, of course, that they just had to leave me and let me be sad or let me sleep or, you know, something like that. But we were all together. So, you know, they completely take the piss out of me when I have food on my face at the dinner table. But they're also, you know, they'll also sort of protect me when we're walking in town. And if there's a step or whatever, you know, Catherine especially will sort of say, "Step there, Mum," and just, you know, or wait for me to get on the escalator with her. And, you know, so it's very protective. But we've done all of this together. Like they haven't missed out on anything, but they also have had to learn that had to look after me. That there's, you know, there's times when they make meals and have to bring me the food and, you know, then take it away and, you know, and that kind of stuff. And yeah, it's a journey, but we've done it all together. But we've just made sure that they've always been involved and that they haven't been left out, even in the crappy bits. So yeah, I suppose that's sort of what we've tried to do the whole time. We didn't actually realise that stroke had sort of affected them as much until Catherine was doing a bit of a search on like life expectancy and sort of stopped, and we got a phone call from her teacher sort of saying, "Oh, look, she's a bit bit teary about it. So we decided to go neonatal rather than directly with stroke. And I said to her later, what's going on with that? She said, I don't want to read something that's going to catch me by surprise. You know, we've been really open, but what if there's something that you haven't been telling me? And I'm like, well, there hasn't. And, you know, there is no life expectancy. But, you know, 9 years post, I didn't think that was still, you know, on her mind. So that was interesting, because they've dealt with their own trauma themselves, you know, having to sort of look after their mum and stuff like
Fear
that.
of losing you. That's the thing. It's a fear of losing you.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's absolutely beautiful. I love what you said about how your kids make fun of you and they feel
Oh
like
my God, they do
that
all the time.
connection with you to just play and that respect and all that sort of thing. And then at the same time, they're like, we're here for you.
Yeah.
And I imagine that is because you model that straight back to them.
I try. Yeah. It's been hard. It's been hard because, you know, I first of all didn't have a filter. Well, I don't really have a filter now, but like I had even less of a filter back then, and that was hard. But just actually learning to slow down and share with them, you know, it was as much of a learning experience for them as it was for me, because it was a whole new life for all of us, and it was a whole new, you know, me being at home rather than not. That was huge. So yeah.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for sharing that. Now, Saran and I would love to hear from you. Is there an important relationship in your life you'd like to maintain? How do you maintain connected relationships? Let us know in the comments below. Bye.
See ya.